I? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off, say, about 12 centimeters of this 20 gauge wire. Now, I'm going to need 2 of these as per our drawing. And I'm running out of silver wire at the moment. I'm going to need to get some more. Just a quick. Okay, so now I've got these two 20 gauge wires, and okay, so now what I'm gonna want to do with these is I'm gonna want to shape them into the ring. Okay, so I'll grab my mandrel. Let's see, I think about like average size or like bigger size is around here. So what I'll just do is just wrap them around, try and keep them as even as possible. And you know, we actually kind of want these to interlock, just like that. Okay, now what we are going to do, just try and keep that as even as possible. Okay, we need to tighten these. You know what, we're actually just going to size them a little bit smaller because I don't actually have a proper mandrel. So if we size them a little bit smaller, that'll still give us extra room that we were originally planning anyway. Okay. This will be interesting. Whether or not it's going to work out how I want or how I plan, doesn't matter. It's all for fun, right? Okay. So now that we've got this ready, I just want those to be more even. And I more just wanted that so that it can give us that round shape that we want, like a ring. So now I kind of already started with this. I've got about, I think this is about 85 centimeters of 26 gauge wire, and I've got this just here. I think it's really cute. Let me see if I can get a zoom in on that one. Come on. It's a little bit better. So this is the mother of pearl, and then over here we've got the pearl itself on top of that. So like you thread it through this side first. Okay, you put it through the side hole of the mother of pearl, then through the pearl. And then when you get to around there, you kind of want to make a sharp edge on the edge of the pearl on both sides, so then you can get it through, because otherwise it just won't fit. It's like a perfect match and perfect lineup. And then you want to flatten them out towards the bottom. So like you want to do like that, just go straight out, otherwise it'll all start coming off. Okay. There we go. So now what we're going to do with this is, like in my drawing, what we're going to do is we're going to attach it onto here. And so I made this quite small because that's going to go underneath the mother of pearl, because like in this ring, that's not quite very neat. It's not how I quite wanted it, and it's quite bulky around the sides here. I had to attach another piece to make these extra little bits and have 4 of them, and that's not what I want. I want it all to be nice and concise and everything. So now this may be a little bit tricky. Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. I just do that. Yep, I think that should do. Actually, I think what I'll do is I'll actually go through the middle first, because I want it to be straight down the center. I want it to be nice and neat. Come on now. See, and that's why you kind of want it flat right underneath. Otherwise it just starts slipping off. Okay. So now we'll just thread that through, let it come through the other side. Now this may get a little bit tricky, a little bit fiddly. Okay. Like, I know that these are roughly the right size that I want anyway. It'll probably just won't be that noticeable once I finish it. But so I'm just trying to hold it on top while holding the ring itself at the same time. So I'm just going to pull that wire so it comes up alongside. Or better yet, how about I just focus on the line. Make it slightly easier for myself. Just to get that around. I kind of want to pull it underneath, right? Because I want these to actually come up over into the little loops. Yeah, okay. So now we need to wrap it underneath here. Okay, so look, now that we've kind of gotten it attached, we can lift that up slightly just so we can see better. I want those even. Now just start wrapping these around so they can be secured. Now we will be able to still move these around a little bit even after they've been attached. And since they're spreading out a bit, I'm just going to push them back. So I'm just going to get my flat nose pliers and just squish that down. So this little wire here is just mainly to cover up the underneath. Okay. Now, once again, just going to straighten these out. Just squish them down a little bit. Just like that. So you can kind of see what I'm trying to create here. Fully covered underneath. And just what I'm going to do now. Oh, actually, I think, oh, perfect actually. Barely even tell. Fantastic. Well, I've got a good feeling about this one. Okay, so then we've still got these two that can Oh, would you look at that? Just, I don't think I could have done that any better if I'd like. Yeah, I don't think I could have done that any better. Damn, that's good stuff. Okay. Anyways, so what I'm gonna do, I've got this long bit of wire here. So how should I do this one? Okay, so these ones are actually going to be coming up. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go straight in between them. Right, so straight in between. And then, I know. I'll get the end. Just squeeze it through the gap here. Now be careful, be watching the wire at this point in time. Sometimes it goes a bit funky and then you get kink. This one didn't, thank goodness. Okie doke. Right, so now, okay, so now that we've brought that through just in there, what we can do is we're gonna bring these up already just over the top there because we're actually going to be going underneath them. Okay, so this is going to be interesting with extremely long wire, and I hope I don't get too many kinks with this. Let's see how we go. Okay, so slight problem there. Already bringing that up. Okay, and now just want to do that, I just want to bring that underneath. Like, I'm trying to push that right under where that last wire was. Just like that. So now we just kind of keep on threading that through. Extremely long wire. Okay, maybe I went a bit like a little bit excessive with the amount of wire on this thin gauge, but I mean, to be quite frank, I think I'd rather have a little too much wire than like not enough. That would kind of ruin the entire like look that I'm going for. Okay, so we're just gonna wrap this right around. And just remembering to push it up as much as you can so that they're all uniform. You don't see any of the wires underneath, none of that. Okay, so I've already got like a little bit of kink forming. Just going to straighten that out. Don't want none of that. And another thing that's going to work really well if you do manage to keep it all in one piece is that it's actually going to be a lot stronger for you. So it's kind of what you want, and you know, it is a little bit thinner and more flexible wire, so you kind of do want that added stability. So just keep on doing that, just keep on pulling it through. It might seem a little bit tedious, but I swear to you it will be worth it when you see the end product, and you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'm like so glad I actually did that and I actually took my time. So gonna flatten these while I'm here, you know, and also try not to scratch the wire too much. Okay, and it's alright if you find it's a little bit thicker at the top there, that's fine. Just, and if, oh, okay, try not to pull it too much like that, okay. Right, we didn't pull these up as well. That should help. Damn, that's not my biggest finger. That just to give it that shape back. Just because I want it back. I'll put it back on the mandrel. Okay, and now back to that wire wrapping around the sides. And with these like extremely long wires like I'm using right now, I actually picked up a trick from Matt's Crazy Art that I was recently watching, where he said to actually like push it in through the center of whatever you're making, because like, so rather than trying to get this like a little end bit here and just poke it through, he says just push it inwards like that and pull it straight out the other side. It'll work a lot easier. I believe him, because then you get less kinks in your wire, and unless you're going for like a rigid look, that's not really what you're wanting. There, because I'm just trying to pull it through quickly, it isn't working as well for me. Patience, grasshopper, patience. Alright, that's the wire on the mandrel. Just pop that up. Just give that ring back its shape. Okay, so that's an example of the kink we don't quite want. Just gonna grab my flat nose pliers and just squeeze that out. See, nothing happened here. I don't know what you're talking about. No kinks here. Okay. Now this will take a little while. I think I might just speed up the process, but it's just mainly this, squeezing it along and getting that shape we want, you know. Okay. Alrighty, we're getting close to that point. Yeah, I think we are close to that point. So what I'm going to do, just squeeze these down a bit. And now, since I've got this like quite a bit of extra wire here, and because this is quite loose, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go underneath actually, and just kind of tighten them up. I'll just bring these down a little bit so I can actually get under there. I think I might go under one more time and then go over and around. So this is just to tighten this up, and then so we've also just got a space for this extra wire to go, and we do want that a bit flat. See how that's like more level now? Perfect, that's what we want. I'm actually thinking, do I need that much wire? Probably not. I mean, I could probably just cut some more. Yeah, I think that should be fine actually. Now, we might just... I think it might even be best off to do this around the corner rather than on the edge, because then that might lead to it being a little bit lopsided, and that's hardly what. Just need to trim off the tiniest amount, just a little nip. Yes, I think that should do it. Gosh, it's gone in between the wires that I'm wanting to use next. Okay, there we go. Don't know if you guys can actually see that, can you? There, right? So you can see what I'm trying to do here. So I just want to move that little itty bitty wire and pop it right under there. Bingo. And we've done it. Okay. We are literally in the home stretch now. Home stretch, guys. Let's celebrate. Now I want these to come around into like a little love heart. But how can I be so precise as to how much I'm going to need? I might need to just trim these. Getting the round nose pliers. Just getting the very tip of that wire. Curl it around. Might just see if I can bring that in the slightest way. Yes, okay. Just going to continue curling. Okay, so we want that just off to the side, and a little bit coming over the pearl and the mother of pearl edge. So just like that. You see? Isn't that cute? Okay, that seems to be like the perfect amount, and I do like how much that like swells. So now we're just gonna try and make that as even as possible as that first super duper adorable one. Okay, doing well, nearly there. We are so close. We can do this. And then push that to the other side there. then it makes that little love heart. Isn't that adorable? Although, I mean, we could, however, make that a little bit more curly and actually have that overhang a little bit like that sense. So this one's a little bit further upwards. We're just gonna bring that back. Bring it back, sing it back, bring it back, sing it back to me. Okay, push that back there. You know what, I actually don't mind that little bit of an overhang there of the wire. I think that would look kind of cute because it kind of becomes part of it, part of the bit that's like holding the wire and the pearl together. Isn't that cute? Oh, that is actually really cute. Damn, go me. Okay, oh damn, oh sugar, oh, I didn't measure if that was the same. I mean, probably just like snip off the tiniest amount just so they're like exactly even. But other than that, I mean, I honestly think that side probably had a little bit more. Like barely the tiniest of a notch. But yes, so just gonna do the same as we did just then, right? Just the same. Yeah, okay, so grab the very end, bring it in. Give me that swirl that we are wanting, yes. Squeeze that the tiniest of a bit, and then roll. Rolling. They see me rolling, they're hating. And just flick that inwards. Yep, I think that is actually perfect length as well. Damn, this is just coming up dandy actually. I mean, not gonna lie, in the beginning I was a bit nervous. I was like, oh, I don't know, it's looking a bit funky, like, what if it doesn't quite turn out how I imagined? But this is actually coming out perfectly. That's awesome. Okay, and then very last touch. I wonder if I can use this one. It might be a little bit nicer for the silver, because the last one's been scratching it the ever slightest. Just eliminate that, and very possibly and there you have it. We're done. Oh my god, isn't it? That is like seriously the cutest. I mean, that bottom part of the ring